flashing lights, take shots with much bravado. Don't you know, you don't have to lay down your only life. I need you here tomorrow. Is martyrdom the only philosophy? I can set you free from all that seems to bind. Years ago, you threw the key into the darkest nights, then hit the light to follow.
Welcome, and thank you for sitting with us again under the aNvKai tree. Now, I'm not usually here, but I'm Miss Patty, and I'm here with your other host,
Jack Fuller, and I'm not usually here either.
Oh, you're Jack Fuller today?
Yes,
I did not know
natural
that.
hair.
Right.
Every time. Ooh.
I'll make sure I'll fix that
remember that
as we go along. But anyway, again, thank you for sitting with us under the aNvKai tree. It's been a while, and we missed you guys so much. There's so much going on with us. We have a lot to talk about in today's show. We're going to go over some hot topics. We have some new projects and some new music from the both of us to share with y'all. And we're going to, Jack Fuller has a great sound off for today. So we're going to get into all of that. But before we do, as usual, we have our Patreon. We broke down here. So donate to our Patreon at Patreon.
God will take you higher.
We have exclusive content. We have all sorts of like after show footage from this podcast. You can also support us directly at Anchor FM. Anchor.fm/aNvKai/support if you want to become a regular supporter there, and you can give as much or as little as you like if you want to support the podcast directly. And remember, we're available wherever podcasts are streaming. Speaking of our Patreon, we have a couple of tiers, so you can start up for as little as $3 all the way up to $10, where you get a special shout out at the end of each show. You get merch. We have some cool stuff there that I designed that's really, really cute. So make sure you guys check us out on Patreon. Yeah. It's been quite. Let me fix your name before we go any further.
And let's help Miss Patty remember. You see, this is a braid.
Please don't get at me. I've been it's been through a lot.
Natural hair, Jack Fuller.
How about you remind me before we start, and just to make sure I have the name right.
Y'all remember, I'm sure remembrance will continue to occur.
All right, so let's get into today's show. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Loves and likes go really far, so make sure you hit that like. Make sure you hit that like button. Share this with your friends. Share this with your people. And make sure you hit that notification bell so you know anytime we post a new video on this channel. So let's get right into it with the hot topics. Oh yeah, make sure you guys comment, because we'll display your comments. We love to see what you guys think. So our first segment, as always, is the leaf. And for the leaf today, we're gonna do something a little different because I haven't done an all shade no tree in a while. So we're gonna get into some hot topics. And our first hot topic for this episode is a little bit gross, weird, strange.
All of the above.
I was really surprised when I heard about this story like a couple days ago. Ricky Martin was trending, and I was like, why the hell is Ricky Martin trending? Who? Ricky Martin hasn't been a subject of talk in a while, but Ricky Martin has recently been charged with domestic violence and incest allegations. He's going to be going to court down in Puerto Rico, I think July 21st. According to The Guardian and a couple of other news sources like TMZ. Him and his nephew, 21-year-old Dennis Daniel Sanchez, were allegedly involved in a 7th-month relationship, even though Ricky Martin is still married.
Mm-hmm.
Him and his husband, they've been married since like 2017. They got 4 kids, but him and his nephew allegedly got into some sort of situationship, which ended, according to news sources, like 2 months ago. And Ricky Martin kind of went off the rails and was showing up at his home, was harassing him. So his nephew got an order of protection and then also pressed charges. So in Puerto Rico, the sentencing for incest is up to 50 years. So he's facing, if these are allegations proven to be true, he can face up to like 50 years in jail, which is not wild, but like
it's a little wild considering an entire population, an entire race of people only worked through incest on the mainland. So it is a little wild to get 50 years, right? It is a little wild to get 50 years for something like that. These allegations are deep. These are deep allegations. It's one thing to be, like have been in the closet most of your career to some degree. We all knew, right? But then you get married and we're like, okay, yay, like this is great. And then suddenly there's these allegations of abuse, sexual abuse, and incest with your nephew.
Now,
like,
y'all saw the picture. The nephew's hot, like he's a fitness model, but like that's still your nephew. That's his half sister's son.
Yeah. So
it's like he watched this little boy grew up, and like
it'd be that part for me. It'd be like you watch this little boy grow up. Like as a teacher of like middle school kids, it's legitimately uncomfortable to see them grow. It's like, like you're about to be an adult.
Right.
Gross. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so it's really strange to like see people who practically raise folk. Because I only see them after school and it's gross. You know what I'm saying? Like you raised this person and you saw them grow up literally almost every, you know what I'm saying? However long or however frequent you would visit them and things of that nature. And as the famous uncle, I'm pretty sure they made sure you were in their life as much as possible. I really hope there's something because Ricky Martin is trying to now, and they always do this to victims, is trying to now make it seem as though he has mental issues, excuse me, and mental health differences that would make him lie about something like this.
Both of y'all do if you was messing around with your nephew.
Right.
But and while you're still married, like cheating aside, it's like
incest cheating?
Huh?
Was it incest cheating?
Right. That's exactly what I was about to say. I lost a nail, y'all. I'm trying to fix this, but it's like you creeping around with your husband, with your nephew, and then like pedophilia is just something that like it's not pedophilia. Like he's a grown man.
Yeah,
he's grown, but like there's the essence of like pedophilia there. Like you watch this person grow from like a child to like a young adult, and you're like, oh yeah, I did that. The fuck?
Bleh.
Like what?
I can't even take that just now. Yeah, the violence even in like knowing that somebody raised you, you know what I'm saying? Or like somebody was a part of your rearing, and then you turn around and once you're of age, you're suddenly eligible to get fucked. Like that's like the mind fuck they're in. You know what I'm saying? Even if like say his nephew felt away and was like, oh, well, flattered in some regard. And then, because sometimes you get consensually into these situations, but you realize later on that it's doing something fucked up to your psyche. And you're like, nah, like this is not okay. Like, and the fact that any adult or any person who's been an adult longer than anybody else, or longer than their victims would like put that on someone. Like
he's 50.
Still a child to
he's
you.
50.
Yeah.
He's 50. That could be his son.
This person's still a child to you. and this person still sees themselves, even if they are trying to like get their fucking like, you know what I'm saying, adulthood on track, they still kind of see themselves as like a child in your presence. Like as much as we like might want to have our parents see us as adults, you know what I'm saying? Like we still feel like you are older than me, you are above me, you have some level of authority over me. I wouldn't be here without you. I wouldn't have what I have, or what I have to make it, you know what I'm saying, and survive without you. So there's always going to be that level of eldership, you know what I'm saying, that mentor-mentee relationship. So yuck. I'm just disgusted. I'm not even mad. And again, these are allegations. Whether we believe them or not is somewhat inconsequential. The concept in and of itself is disgusting. The fact that this could be alleged is a lot.
So if you're just joining us right now, we're in our little hot topic segment of today's show. And our next story is something that if you've been following me on No Shade All Tree, I've been talking about the situation down in Sri Lanka for quite a while, since the news broke earlier this summer. So if you don't know, that was a little snafu. The Sri Lankan Prime Minister earlier this summer tried to flee the country. Gotabaya Rajapaksa, who is part of like a political dynasty in Sri Lanka since it got its independence like in the early 2000s. They've been basically running the country everywhere from like president to prime minister, secretaries, all through the government. They've been alleged for corruption for years, and recently, just like pretty much like everywhere else, but like since Sri Lanka is a small island nation, they've been really feeling the economic downturn of the world really harshly, and like their economy has been completely mismanaged. Like people are literally like starving right now, like nationwide, like even like people of means. And so like there've been like massive protests going on in Sri Lanka for the past couple of months, like since February. It got hot. It got real hot, and this nigga tried to skip town, and they was like,
yoink,
hemmed him up at the airport, but they de-seated him. And right now they're in the process of this week, they're going to vote to elect a new president. Right now they have one person in mind. Parliament, if somebody else steps forward for the nomination, they might hold elections off till next Wednesday. But we're gonna definitely keep talking about this. It's really wild. Like Mahinda Rajapaksa, Gotabaya's father, was prime minister before that. I think the brother was like president for a while. So it's all like it's a lot of like, they helped smash the Tamil resistance basically. And I don't know if you guys know or like are fans of MIA. MIA talks a lot about the Tamil freedom fighters in her music. A lot of colonial entities view them as terrorists. They are like the indigenous people of Sri Lanka and wanted colonial rule like off their land. Like a lot of these like neo-colonial like puppet leaders out, and they basically got sold out by the Rajapaksa. And now we're seeing that like kind of come to a head. Like the people are like, nah, we want you out. We want you out. We made a mistake. Y'all should have listened to the Tamils first. Mm-hmm. In my opinion, like people have mixed feelings about that. I'm not Sri Lankan.
Right. Like as a person who is not quite yet dealing with the same shit. Because if you're in America right now, you know that we ain't far away from that shit our damn self.
People on here is punk panties. I don't
mean in terms of like actually like getting the shit together, but I mean in terms of like not having food and not having resources.
Right.
And you know, we don't believe that the people have the power in this country. So once we think that we don't have access to resources, it's going to be people against people instead of government. So I don't mean that Americans have what it takes to actually do nothing about this. I'm sick of y'all.
Okay, word.
But you know, otherwise the circumstances they're in, we're very close to. But as a person that's not Sri Lanka, my opinion on it is not really strong. Y'all know I don't really do opinions. I just like tell y'all how it is. But
tell me how you feel.
I feel like this shit, like this kind of shit makes me sad. Like one, I'm very grateful and very happy to see the people take the power, but to see the suffering that it led to, that led to them taking the power, to see that it really, really seems to take y'all globally to the very brink of destruction, to then finally be like, nah, we got to do some shit, is saddening.
Right.
It's saddening as fuck. Y'all had mad time. How long are y'all gonna watch this steady decline before y'all he tries to shirk his responsibility, and now y'all are like, oh,
literally ran like the protests. They were like encroaching upon like the Capitol,
right?
And like didn't tell nobody. Was like, I'm packing my overnight bag,
and now y'all wanna, because he's dipping, y'all wanna go yoke him up and make sure he don't dip, but then de-seat him. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand why it takes so much. Like, y'all see where it's going. You know, maybe people are not as smart as I hope they were, or even think that they are. But I know that like y'all can at least see 2 steps ahead of yourselves. And 3 years ago, at the very least, y'all saw that we was gonna get here. That your economic status was gonna get where it is. Literally in America with COVID, there's no way that y'all are confused about where we are with inflation in America right now. There's no way that y'all are confused. Y'all are shocked and dismayed, but confused? Absolutely not.
Literally, when like people are destroying food production facilities all around the country, going up in flames, mysteriously
destruction, right?
So like we're not far from that. We're gonna keep covering this story like as it develops, and talking more about the stuff it has as it relates to home, because it starts like with the third world. Not even like using that term, because that is a term that like the colonial powers created of people that they've literally stole resources from and disenfranchised
in the first place.
This is a third world country with a Gucci belt.
Period.
So like when you see it start in other places, it's not that far from home.
And they got the Gucci belt on Canal Street.
Our last story for Hot Topics today is Jennifer. Wait, is that last story? Yeah. Jennifer Lewis receives her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame on Jackie Washington Day of all days, like July 15th. If you don't know, is Jackie Washington Day. If you've never seen the movie Jackie's Back starring Jennifer Lewis, right now, I think it's on Prime. I think you can find it for like, if you have Amazon Prime, you can watch it for free, but like it's out there. Like, check that movie out. That movie is fucking hilarious.
You can't say you love Jennifer Lewis and haven't seen that movie.
Fucking hilarious.
Like, watch that movie.
But yeah, the mother of Black Hollywood receives her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I think she's next to Dolly Parton, they said. But she looked beautiful. She had on this like lime green outfit. The hair was flowing. Debbie Allen was there to support her. There's like a whole hour-long live tribute like on YouTube that you can check out too. If you look that up, to see her like receiving her star and like listen to her acceptance speech. I thought it was really beautiful. So like I'm really happy and proud of Jennifer Lewis. We read her book, like Mother of Black Hollywood, when it came out a couple of years ago, and it was really like she's been through a lot in her life.
Been through a lot. Like
she's from a small town in Michigan, like right near Flint, like a survivor of sexual abuse. Like she's bipolar. She really had like a lifelong battle with her mental health instability, and she talks a lot about that in the book. She's been in like over 400 television episodes, done something like 200 movies. She been everybody's mama. Everybody's mama.
Like I mean, and you know, of course, y'all already know how I feel about this institution, so I won't even go there. I'll try to keep it positive. I'm very happy for her. The shit, like I'm very happy that her accomplishments are getting noticed in a way that our people can't ignore them. And that's the one thing about getting awarded by these institutions, because our people still care about them so much, that I do like, is that, oh, if you got a Grammy, if you got your star on the Walk of Fame, if you got Emmy, if you're EGOTing, you know what I'm saying, then like our people are still going to be able to see you and be like, oh, bitch, you did that, right? And I'm really proud of her for that. She's been here for dumb long. It's kind of wild that it took this long. Like to be in 400 TV episodes, like quadruply syndicated. Give her flowers. Why did it take this long? So Jennifer Lewis, like thank you so much for everything that you've done in the community, everything that you've done in the industry. You know what I'm saying? Even with some of your petty boo, you know what I'm saying, like mindsets or whatever, nonetheless, you have blazed trails. There are people who are able to play everybody's daughter because you played everybody's mother. And that is just that's just a fact, no matter how I feel about this institution. So thank you very much.
I do feel like some kind of way, like recently I found out, I forgot, it was a discussion on some podcast. It might have been the Breakfast Club. I don't remember, but like you have to pay for your star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Like they were talking about how certain people, celebrities, don't have stars like Beyonce or Brandy or like certain people. And it's because like you have to pay. Like they send out a nominations list every year, and if you like accept the nomination, I think you have to pay like $50,000 or something like that for your star, which is fucking ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Why should I have to pay for like an honor?
It's ridiculous.
It's a tile.
It's
and $50,000
that people gonna walk on for the rest of eternity, or for the rest of America as a civilization. Like, what? $50K out of my pocket for y'all to honor me? That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. And unfortunately, the Walk of Fame doesn't suddenly boost your income rate 50 more K just because you paid for it. Like, it's not an Emmy. It's not an Oscar. It's not, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you get that Oscar, then it's like, bitch, give me 10 more G's. You know what I'm saying? You get that Emmy, it's like, bitch, give me 30 more G's. Okay.
I do want to look into it if it goes to some sort of foundation. I'm going to look that up right now.
That would be nice. I mean, again, y'all already know how I feel. This country and this system pulls you in too many directions. It's if you're an artist, it's like you realize that we need to stop working, but you as an artist are the only people that should be working. And it's like, damn, well, we still have to survive, so we got to make money. But our making money is making sure that other people don't survive. It's too much. So these institutions, again, okay, that $50K going to some kind of foundation is cute in some respect, but at the end of the day, like, what are y'all really doing with that money? There's mad foundations, charities, and things that don't do shit. So it's like, that would be cute. But here we go, you know. I hope Jennifer Lewis, though, feels as accomplished as she is. And I hope people are supporting her through any, like, literal polarization that's happening inside of her as she continues her climb in this world.
It seems like a sham charity. We know most mass charitable organizations are like shams to begin with. They're just tax write-offs for the rich. But it is done by the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce, and that already like getting like, where's that money really going?
Right.
Like who's really being supported by this money? But anyway, we are proud of Jennifer Lewis. We always want to big up like Black people when we can on this podcast. And yeah. So now let's get into our next segment. Me trying to do this with nails is like, and this is why like I feel like I subconsciously forget to wear nails because I don't want to like go through the struggle of having to like deal with them. But our next segment, the trunk, where we unpack the unpackings of things we need to unpack. We get deep and down into like these issues and take them part. And today's topic is us. So we got some new music. But before we get into the new music, we want to just like update you guys on our living situation, how we are, what we've been doing, what we've been working on. A lot of y'all have donated to our GoFundMe to help us keep stable housing. As you can see, we are in stable housing right now, at least for the time being. Thank you guys so much. So many of you donated. We're like able to raise like over $1,000, and that gave us the ability to get here, to move, to like keep food in our mouths, and throughout that whole process, like getting like evicted, and like we also could no longer like afford to live where we were living because of inflation and things just like getting higher, and like our salaries not going up along with that. So like thank y'all for that. But yeah, we're here. We're out in the country. We're not gonna like disclose our like location because we got haters, and y'all know who those haters are. Like if you haven't, check out the Surviving the Cope episode, which was a few episodes ago, and you'll know why we're not gonna disclose like where we are. But we're good. We're like in nature. We're in like a nice, comfortable spot. where we can still do our thing, enjoy our time with each other, and like relax and breathe and enjoy the summer. You have anything to say about that, or like want to let the people know?
I'm just really grateful. I don't know how much the person who is letting us utilize their house wants to be publicly thanked for that, but you know who you are if you're watching this, and thank you so much. I'm trying my best not to just literally drown you in gratitude. It's hard as hell for me not to text you every day, literally like thank you so much. But I'm so grateful to you, to the ancestors, and to the Orisha, to my own ability to do what the hell I do well, and to the fact that people are finally realizing the kind of person I am, even if they think I might say some things a little harsh. They know that it's all love, and I really am here to just help. And I appreciate for the reciprocation of that help. We are across the street from a waterfall. I couldn't ask for more.
And a river, it's beautiful.
Yeah, like I couldn't ask for more.
There's bears.
Some of y'all might have seen my story the other day. Yes, I really mean it. Even as it pertains to some of the people I love, I really mean it. I would rather deal with the potential of bears than the assurity of humans in this time. It's been really nice to be surrounded by no one. That's been nice. And
you don't have neighbors.
Yeah. Like I would suggest that people get a week. People try to do weekends. I'm sorry, honey. You need 7 Bloomberg days. You need 7 days surrounded by no one. And it's not, what I'm saying, on the sound off later, I'm going to be talking about individualism. In this society, you need to be able to fucking make sure that you don't feel individually isolated from nature, because that's literally everything that we do in the society is to separate ourselves from nature. So to be surrounded by nothing but trees, and then
that's what we got the green on today.
Okay, right. And then me having to now apologize to the trees, saying I'm surrounded by no one. These trees, they're sentient. They live in. Y'all on TikTok asking trees to touch y'all on the shoulder as though that doesn't literally imply sentience, whether y'all are faking it or not. It's like I'm very aware of the sentience of trees, and I'd rather be around trees because they know what's actually up. So get out of the city if you are in the city. Get out of the cul-de-sac if you live in the cul-de-sac. Get out of the suburb if you don't have acreage between you and the next person living next to you. Go somewhere where you get to be with the wind and really understand that the wind is out here and does not take people to exist.
So you can paint with all the I'm not going to say the rest because this thing going to make us paint.
Okay.
But yeah, thank you. That was like a great summation. I feel like the same way, like just being out in nature, being out in a place where there's no city lights. Like I haven't slept this well in like years, maybe.
Years.
Just being in the pitch black, in the silence, and not hearing fireworks going off or gunshots or car crashes or just like crackheads roving through randomly at 12 o'clock in the morning screaming at the top of their fucking lungs has been like a great peace of mind to have.
It's been nice to dream again, sleeping.
Yes.
In the city, if I dream, it's a message. Like it's been like, oh, okay, like I have to call this person because I dreamed about you. Here's what it is. Like out here, I just had a regular dream the other night, and that was fucking great. Like, I mean, as a priest and a spiritualist and a person who does readings, I know that that's my job to have, all kinds of ways and to get messages to give to the people. But it was nice to just have a regular ass dream where shit got fucking weird and there was nothing going on other than the weirdness. You know what I'm saying? Like that was nice. And I didn't think that nature would have such a huge role to play in that. And I didn't think the city had such a huge role to play in the lack of dreaming. Like, I mean, get in the comments. When's the last time you had a dream in the city? I want to know. Please tell us. When's the last time you had a legitimate dream in the city that wasn't some foreboding shit that was like, oh my God, I got to warn my family,
Word. Like, I feel the same way. I feel like because your mind is so inundated with things and there's so much like activity in the city, like your brain doesn't get a chance to like contemplate and like truly just like process things.
Right.
And sleep is so important. It's like getting like sound rest is so important to your mental health. Like your mood, your like ability to sort of like process and discern your like depression gets like alleviated when you're like able to like sleep well and like soundly. But yeah, so like again, thank y'all to everybody that donated to our GoFundMe to help us get here and supporting us, like New Kids and everybody else. Like we love y'all, so thank y'all. And now getting into like the work. We've been doing like a lot of creative stuff. You know, I've been working on my drag. I helped Jack do their hair. You know, first try.
Both of us first tried doing these jumbo braids. It's not bad. I look good, even if the braids, you know, a little natural looking, if you will.
Working on like a lot of creative projects. I want to release. So why is Miss Patty here? You may be wondering, why am I in full drag? Where's Mick Sykes? Mick Sykes is like always there. Like Miss Patty is here today because I wanted to preview some music that I'm releasing for the first time. Like, yeah, but like if y'all don't know, like I do a little rapping, I do a little singing, I do a little songwriting, some arranging. Like, you know, like I'm on musical and stuff like that. Have been since I was a child. Like I haven't released any of my own music in a very, 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 very long time. So this is like a title track to tell the world about me, something I plan to do and perform when I like start going out to the clubs and stuff and doing my drag. So this is called Miss Patty. This is like my very first like official single. I'm nervous about sharing it.
Y'all gonna love it.
Only because like I haven't like shared music before. But hope y'all like it. It's gonna be exclusively on our Patreon. But actually let's just like listen to it. Like this is a little impersonal. It's gonna be exclusively on Patreon and it's gonna come soon to streaming platforms. So this is Miss Patty by Miss Patty, which is me. So be nice because you know I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit.
50 cents to Erykah Badu. Monkey. She a Pisces, you know she wanted.
No, for real.
If we can't wait, hold on.
It's me.
It is.
Yo, bad bitch, Brownsville. No drama girl, always chill. Bitch never ran, she never will. Queens from Ocean Hill calling me the new thrill. Little chubby, but my man like it though. All these curves have you wanna fight a hoe. Lead singer, you just gotta make a hoe. Have you going all night like a Rihanna show. Yo, call me Miss Patty if you wanna get out. Call me Miss Patty if you wanna get out. Yeah, it's Miss Patty, clap that thing gladly. Oh, it's Miss Patty, yeah, that bitch a real baddie. Just caught the flight out of Newark. Hoe stay pressed like a new skirt. Libra energy, real flirt. I flirt with the pastor out of Newburgh. On my revolutionary red handed. Still spend the weekend in the Hamptons. Chill with the blokes out in Camden. In my all pink killer cabin. Yo, call me Miss Patty if you wanna get out. Call me Miss Patty if you wanna get nasty. Yes, it's Miss Patty. Clap the thing, Patty. Oh, it's Miss Patty. Yeah, that bitch a real baddie. Third verse, and y'all niggas got the point. If you wanna puff past Patty, it's a joint. Rock your whole world, never disappoint. Bless your whole soul, baby. I'll anoint. Hit you straight to the heart. I'm an arrow. Feed your whole life with this spiral tarot. If you want that bullshit, I ain't in the mood. Pour a glass, light a candle for my egg room. Yo, call me Miss Patty if you wanna get out. Call me Miss Patty if you wanna get nasty. Call me Miss Patty. Clap that thing, Patty. Oh, it's Miss Patty. Yeah, that bitch a real baddie. Got me flipping, hold the bird. Body tripping, all these curves. Baddest bitch you ever heard. Oh, say I got some nerve. If you wanna know where I'll be, getting hard to find me. Don't just follow me on the action. Come to my show, get excited. Call me Miss Patty if you wanna get out. Call me Miss Patty if you wanna get nasty. Oh, it's Miss Patty, clap the thing valley. Yeah, it's Miss Patty. Oh, that bitch a real baddie. Drag superstar, creative lead. Libraries open, no shade, no tea. Man, cause your man wanna leave with me. Best head in the West, baby, no ski. Global bad girl, always on holiday. Call me Penny, cause I stole your nigga heart away. Give him that Kurt breaker, it's a brighter day. Oh, this thing ain't free, baby, gotta pay. Real gun data, Fendi Gucci Prada. Soul brother, soul, Fendi, Fuku Shanja. Motel 6, I leave the light on. wanna be free, say it right on. Call me Miss Patty if you wanna get out. Call me Miss Patty if you wanna get nasty. Yes, it's Miss Patty. Clap that thing gladly. Oh, it's Miss Patty. Yeah, that bitch a real baddie.
Told y'all would love it.
Thank y'all for the love in the comments. So yeah, that's Miss Patty. If you want to check that out, make sure you join us on our Patreon. It's gonna be like both of these will be exclusively on Patreon. Let me pull up. So that's patreon.com/aNvKai tree. It's gonna be up by the end of today, so you guys can listen to that until it's up on streaming like Spotify, SoundCloud, and all of that. But thank y'all for showing so much love. We got some more comments heard. Okay, I'm glad y'all like it. I was feeling like a little like old school mixtape Nicki Minaj, like going into this. I wanted to just like introduce myself in like my drag persona. Like this, like me dressing as a boy is drag. This isn't like really like drag per se, but just like, you know, to like put it out there. So I'm glad y'all like it. I'm glad y'all feeling it. And there'll be more music soon. So you want to introduce your joint before I
Sure. So my joint is called Sideswipe. I guess we can get into what it's about afterwards. But GypjaQ is actually transitioning a little bit away from rap and a little bit away from like EDM and returning to like the Jack Fuller roots of like their musical understanding and the musical expression. So this is a little bit more on the neo soul vibe than y'all are used to from GypjaQ. It's a really nice song. I love the song. I'm not as nervous as anybody because I honestly don't care, but because I love it and I jam it. So it's
a good song.
Thank you, baby. It's not written in your typical way where there's not like a chorus and things of that nature. So just keep your ears open. Anybody here who has musical training, you'll definitely fuck with it. Artists, I know y'all will fuck with it. And otherwise, think of listening to this more like listening to an oldie than listening to something that will come out today.
All right, so let's cue this up.
You put the fear of God in mind. How many gods can I name tonight? Why I first was that twice.
And that was Sideswipe. Was it over?
No. Jay said.
Oh, Jay said, "Damn, that was fab."
Thank you.
And that was Sideswipe by GypjaQ.
Mm-hmm. It's about an encounter with your partner that is surprising, right? Like we think of side swipes now as like Tinder, right? And shit like that. But this is a side swipe from a driving perspective, right? Like if you get side swiped on the road, it's really usually not fun. But this kind of side swipe is also like implying the velocity and force with which the encounter is a lustful encounter is happening, and it's like, oh shit, like I never would have expected this from you. And then the fact that it fades out and then it's kind of giving you like a fake fade out, right, is the fact that it happened twice in one day. That's why the line you put the fear of God in mind. I like how many gods can I name tonight while pipes are flushed. Oh, was that twice? Right? It's like, was that twice? And then it's like, no, it wasn't. This is twice. Right? So, yeah, so much fun to write. So glad that y'all love it. You know what I'm saying? I don't get nervous about it because, again, I'm so used to people thinking my music is like heady and sophisticated. And what they mean by that is that it's not approachable. So I don't care to make approachable music. And it's just that simple. I was like, hey, like my shit is going to be what it is. So I'm so glad that y'all felt able to approach it and listen to it and jam. And y'all understood what the hell won. That means everything to me.
I love it. I mean, it is about me. So.
Indeed.
Why wouldn't I love it?
Mm-hmm.
But thank y'all. And again, if y'all want to like check this out, if y'all want to hear that again,
if y'all want to listen to it often,
make sure you go to patreon.com/aNvKai tree. And you could just do it like the little $3 a month thing. Like it's nothing. Like y'all give that to Netflix, like, you know, whatever.
Way more than that.
Netflix is like what, almost $20 now.
Yeah.
Y'all could get all behind the scenes stuff. And there's a lot of cute stuff on our Patreon. Like it's not like one of those Patreons where there's like nothing on it, or it's just like the podcast. Like, no, you get shit that like we don't see here.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure y'all check that out.
Y'all will get to see us in our creative processes. You'll get to see other things that we're doing outside of like recording music, right? And things of that nature. So definitely check it out. It's interesting.
And Jack has some theater projects that are coming up that we're like probably gonna have on the Patreon documented. So you're gonna get to see like the development of like that artwork done there, and from like, you know, the workshopping to like the staging process. So like get ready. There's gonna be a lot more coming on the Patreon. And our last segment of the night is the root. So for the root, for like this special episode that we're having tonight, today, we're gonna have a special sound off by yours truly. And what are you gonna talk about today on the sound off? I mean, I'll chime in a little bit where I can, but
you know, I've been trying to, like, since I said what it was this morning, I've been trying to see if that's what I'll actually do. And it's individualism. We're gonna talk about individualism today. I was going between individualism and the difference between art and entertainment, but I'll do that another day when it's less triggering for some people to have heard that from me again, especially hear it from my mouth. But yeah, so Individualism is the bane of all of our existences, all of us. Individualism fucking sucks, right? Individualism does not actually give credence to your life as an individual. Individualism actually gives only credence to your life as separate from someone else. And you being an individual is not your separation from other people, your lack of connection to other people, or the idea that you're likened to no one. That is not what being an individual is about. But individualism is about quite literally turning the blinders on, okay, and making sure that all you're focusing on is what you are and who you are and what you do, right? So as we live in this individualistic society, it would be difficult for y'all to think about the opportunity that I keep bringing up, right, that we had in quarantine to disengage, because you're thinking about, oh, well, how am I going to make rent? How am I going to get a job now that I don't have a job because they're making us stay home? How am I going to feed my family? How am I going to get this health care? When all of those things should be commonplace. Individualism is what's keeping y'all in thinking cost of living is a concept that makes sense. Individualism is keeping y'all working while knowing full well the things that you work on and work and essentially work to make money for are absolutely going to someone else's detriment. There's no way to succeed in this society, literally globally right now, without hurting someone else. And your success shouldn't be predicated on the hurt of someone else. But if you don't care about it, guess what? Individualistic mindset. If you literally see that what you're doing is hurting someone and you can't empathize with the hurt that you're causing, you're an individualist. And it is literally the bane of all of our relationships. The reason so many of y'all are single is not only because of maybe your own individualistic mindsets, but because you're surrounded by people who think that they're being an individual, having their own opinions, knowing where their expertise and experience is important in their life means that they have to ignore yours.
So y'all think valuing your peace when y'all really haven't developed conflict resolution skills and have decided to be individualistic as opposed to broadening yourselves is the move, and that ain't it.
Period. I made a TikTok the other day, and this is based on individualism too. This whole unbothered society thing, like, y'all kill me with the need to be unbothered. Like, I understand not letting every single thing affect you. I understand prioritizing certain things and giving certain things levels and size, right? A small thing maybe shouldn't get a huge reaction, and a big thing should definitely not get a small reaction. But y'all be so unbothered that the big things never penetrate. Y'all never see what the big things are, to the point where when y'all are presented the small things, those are nothing to y'all.
Right.
But it's not really, because are you really unbothered, or have you been taught that your emotions are worthless and you are powerless to change the outward stimuli that makes you feel that way?
You better say that.
Which one
you
is it?
Say that.
And I promise you it's the latter. I promise you it's the latter every time.
It's almost always the latter. It's rarely the situations where it's not the latter is like when people are pressed.
Right.
Literally put up against the wall to say that, and it's like you say the thing. Mm-hmm. But like even then, like people will try to squiggle and wriggle and come up with every single thing to make it not what it is.
Right. So it's like, are you unbothered? No. Okay. Y'all are trying your best to be indifferent. And like my girl Zora Howard said, indifference don't make you different, just dead.
Just dead.
And it's that simple. Y'all adorn this whiteness of individualism to try to be unbothered, because if you find yourself bothered, you'll have to do something about it. If you find yourself bothered enough, you'll have to meet outrageous things with outrage. The way that y'all try to make it seem like somebody meeting something that was done outrageously with levels of outrage matching that outrage makes them upset. No. If I see somebody, I don't have to be upset to see wrongdoing happening and fucking correct it. I don't have to be upset to be outraged. It's not the same thing, okay? These words are different for a reason, okay? When something outrageous is happening, you can't be sitting there like, oh, wow, so I guess that's what's going on. No. What? Your mother goes outside. A man bumps into her. She says, "Excuse me," and he goes, "Whatever, bitch." You're standing right there. You see that. You're gonna be upset, right? But what's the first thing that happens? That shit was outrageous. That shit was outrageous. That level of disrespect was out motherfucking rageous. So you have a right and a responsibility in this moment to match that outrage. And if your parent, your mother, 9 times out of 10, especially the people that I know are watching this because we all black and Dominican. I know nobody's Dominican mother is going to fucking let somebody on. But at the end of the day, your parent is going to meet that level of outrage too, especially in front of you, because they want to teach you not to be disrespected, right? So at the end of the day, where do y'all get off being so individualistic that somebody else's pain means nothing to you? Where do y'all get off being so individualistic that y'all gotta literally make yourself unbothered? No, you're making yourself indifferent in order to survive a system that would otherwise make you kill yourself or unalive yourself. That would otherwise literally tell you that, well, if you can't handle it, go.
Word.
Instead of being like, this is not some shit that we should be handling. Instead of being like, actually, I don't have to live this way, and don't nobody else need to live this way, but I'm gonna live. I'm gonna live, and get the match lit and toss that bitch onto a fucking fully gasoline building and let it burn. Got that fire? Come on, Jazz. Let it burn. It's love. Fire. The idea of fire is more love than y'all even give it credit for. Y'all want to y'all trying to act like being unbothered and indifferent is fighting fire with water. You're feeding it. You're blowing a very small constant stream of oxygen into the flame that is burning us down. When if you would just match the flame, then the flames are battling.
And the basis of life on Earth is synthesis. It's working together. Right. Like everything like works together. Like literally like our waste, our like I'm like lost words. Like our airways are the carbon dioxide that we breathe out. Trees breathe it in, and vice versa. We are here to support each other to continue life. Like colonialism has made us think as every man for himself, when it's literally like you cannot survive unless everything is in concord with one another. Period. And accord with one another. Period. And so to act like that you can just like close it off and like, oh, it's just my opinion. That's all that matters. Fuck you. Right. Fuck you. No, it matters because it matters to other people. Right. It matters because your opinion could be harmful or could be freeing. You know what I'm saying? That's the only reason it matters. Why not speak life? Right. Why not speak life? So then at the end of the day, like y'all individualism has y'all. So, and I mean this at the end of the day because we're going to close out. At the end of the day, y'all individualism has y'all buying in to the whiteness that says you have to be the antithesis to nature in order to survive. I need y'all to we're going to take a 10-second pause so y'all could think about how you do it and how much sense that does not fucking make. 10, count it down in your mind. So, thought about it? How can you be the antithesis to something that you are? How can you be battling nature when nature quite literally always wins? People think, oh, we're going to destroy the world. No, the world is going to get rid of us before it dies. I promise you that, okay? Nature always wins. You want to be battling nature, but you die. You die. That is a natural process, death. Shit, we were watching Jurassic Park last night, and one of the themes of Jurassic Park, life will find a way, with or without you. Period. Balance doesn't need you. Your individual puzzle piece can be reproduced, okay? Individualism got y'all so fucked up that y'all don't even know what's supposed to be individualistic. Like spirituality, y'all do so much generalizing of how spirit is supposed to come into people's lives, so much generalizing of how people are supposed to live their lives, but y'all won't generalize the fact that we alive to the point that y'all agree with cost of living. The fact that y'all don't gag every time someone says the words cost of living. Oh, the cost of living is crazy right now.
the concept of cost of living is fucking crazy.
Paying to live. But with that was the sound off. And again, thank y'all again for sitting with us. If you don't know, make sure you check us out everywhere podcasts are streaming. We're on YouTube, we're on Spotify, we're on Facebook. Check out our IG page where we do a lot of we ask questions weekly that can wind up on the podcast. So make sure you check us out there. If you're not on our Patreon, make sure you follow us at patreon.com/aNvKai. Check us out on Anchor. We have special behind the scenes clips there where you can get a fuller, more bright show. Check out our YouTube page for all that other stuff. And I've been Miss Patty. Thank y'all. Y'all might see me again in a little while.
This Jack Fuller, so long as his hair is in, that's who's gonna be here.
Peace, and thank y'all for sitting with us.
I know.
We'll see y'all again next week.
You're so used to seeing the flashing law. Take shots with much bravado.